power efficient, compact and rather upgradable. It's part of the many ways we can describe the Chuwi Corebox 4, a home PC with Intel Core i5 processor. But is it any good? Let's inspect. Everybody, welcome to the channel. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael, the Tech Mishka, and over here we inspect a lot of cool and interesting tech, like this mini computer coming from the company Chuwi, a brand which is up until now famous for its tablets and laptops, and now they're slowly making their way through mini computers. This here is called the Corebox 4th. I don't know why they call it the 4th, I'm just gonna call it Corebox 4. And it's the 2023 specification with an i5 Generation 12 CPU by Intel, 16 gigs of RAM, and a lot of other exciting features. In this video, we're gonna do the unboxing, the first time setup, highlight all the pros and cons, and put it under some serious testing so that we find out whether that's the right choice for you. The device that I test in particular is equipped with the Core i5 CPU and 16 GB of DDR5 and costs $459, but you can go for the price-friendlier edition with Core i3. If you're looking for alternatives, there are plenty of these, and the closest rival I can recall is the Beelink SEI12, but besides the slightly faster CPU, it also comes at a steeper price. Intel Nuke, Morphine, Gigabyte and many other brands are already well experienced with mini PCs. So let's carry on and see what Chuwi have to offer in terms of design. The retail box is a bit bigger than expected. Good pack, in line with the latest trends to use recycled cardboard. Here's the Corebox 4th itself. It's a mini PC that is apparently not that mini-sized. Looking at the scale, I believe this is the biggest that I've tested so far. Hopefully, it allows Chuwi to bring some extras. As you can notice, there are a whole lot of ports on the backside, while the front area is super clean and stylish. The whole shape reminds me of a high-end PC case, even a server. The idea seems to be keeping this in standing position, therefore, while volume is greater than most competitors, the utilized area on your desk might be smaller as compared to others. In terms of accessories, here's a SATA cable. We can use it for attaching an extra SSD or HDD. There's the power adapter and a user guide. No VESA mount plate for this one, so you can't attach it to the backside of a monitor or a TV. The case is made of magnesium and alloy and plastic, and a closer look at the ports gives us the idea that you can connect two monitors and a lot of other USB peripherals. Concerning the technical side, it's quite promising. A Core i5 processor with 10 cores and 12 threads, Intel Iris Xe graphics, 16 GB dual-channel DDR5 memory, a 512 GB M2 storage unit, USB 3.0 ports, a LAN port, inbuilt wireless module, Bluetooth 5.1 and Windows 11 as an operating system. The combination of components of this body make it a rather future-proof choice and very decent performer for a budget-friendly 2023 setup. I need to underline that the components inside are laptop-grade. They are not exactly the same as those that would be utilized in a true desktop computer, but still very capable. For instance, the CPU being the Core i5 1235U, it means you have very decent performance, 10 cores, 12 threads, and it's all very power efficient. If you wonder about performance comparison, I would say it delivers a bit more as compared to the iconic i7 7700, but consumes about 1/3 of the power that this old Intel CPU is about to consume. In terms of RAM, we have DDR5, which is better than DDR4, a bit quicker, not revolutionary better, but certainly a good upgrade. Good wireless connectivity, we are going to try out the maximums and do some benchmarking about it. I want to let you know about the operating system. This here is running Windows 11 Home Edition, a bit different to the Windows 11 Professional version because you don't have some of the features like remote desktop server, Active Directory or encryption, some little things which I would consider as slight drawbacks because some other models of mini PCs would deploy the Windows 11 Pro Edition out of the box. It's upgradable, of course. So let's see how far we can go in terms of upgrading, repairability, and then time for some testing. Given the rather large scale of the housing, maybe there is some more extra space for internal components. The access to the available for replacement components happens from the bottom side. Just remove these 4 screws and lift the panel up. There are no attached cables or whatsoever, so it's quite a safe procedure. We noticed a fairly big fan, so the cooling should be decent. Apparently we can easily swap the M2 storage. This is a rather entry-level unit, but I'm really curious to see the results of the drive testing. You might be able to upgrade with a larger and better one if you feel that the storage is a bottleneck. Adding a 2.5-inch drive is easy. You may be able to add 2 of these, which is nice. Weirdly, there is no access to the DIMM modules. No matter how hard I've tried to reach the upper side of the board, I failed. Looks like Chuwi don't want you to access this area. No possibility to upgrade the wireless module either. So upgradeability and repairability is down to swapping the M2 NVMe drive or adding a 2.5-inch additional storage module, and unlike other mini PCs, you cannot remove or add DIMM modules or swap the Wi-Fi, which I have to admit comes as a surprise to the rather bulky housing. In terms of testing and performance, let me show you some gaming as a starter. Steam is working, and trying the classics, CSGO in 4K resolution struggles to deliver consistent performance. But if you run it in 1080p, there's greater chance to have experience close to enjoyable. The graphics used here is the Intel Iris Xe. They're better than the old generation of UHD graphics, but not that close to a dedicated GPU. Important to note is the lack of Thunderbolt support, meaning that you can't use any eGPU in this scenario, meaning the Chuwi Corebox 4 is never gonna be a true gaming computer unless you're happy enough with what you see so far. No matter how many benchmarks we try or how many changes we apply on the configuration, there are certain limits that we have to eventually accept. The 1235 processor performs a bit worse than what it may deliver with optimal PC builds. The Cinebench 23 score is about 20% less than its full capacity, but in day-to-day tasks it's all good. Doesn't matter documents editing or web browsing or dealing with some apps, a 12th generation Core i5 is fantastic choice for a 2023 device, certainly future-proof, and looks like not too power-hungry. You can see that even at maximum load, the Corebox 4 is not consuming that much of energy. Since I couldn't find much information about the memory, a quick check at the BIOS shows the DDR current state. There aren't too many things to adapt or change, and looks like this is yet another area where Chuwi decided to limit the access to advanced options. The 512GB M2 by AirDisk has been surprisingly consistent. Looks like it deploys TLC NAND in my case. This is the better option, and even under sustained load, it was rarely dropping the writing speed below 350 megabytes. It's a great result given the overall low price of the mini PC. I can say some good words about the wireless connectivity too. The controller is by Intel, the Wi-Fi 6 AX201, very decent module, which maintains transfer speeds of up to 60 and more megabytes per second, quite close to the performance of the gigabit LAN adapter that you can also rely on. As for other peripherals, Bluetooth 5.1 is present to connect all your favorite Bluetooth-based devices. You can use up to 2 monitors. There are 3.5mm ports for microphone and a headphone, and that's pretty much it. No appealing LEDs, no ports on the front. You can access all the connectivity options from the rear side on the box. The Windows 11 Home Edition that arrives pre-installed is licensed, works fine, gets regular updates, and has all the features that the operating system provides without any limits, at least without such implied by Chuwi. Home Edition is not as capable as the Pro version, but will be good enough for most tasks as long as no advanced administration tasks are required. Now, before the summary, my usual list with the drawbacks. There is no VESA mount integration, so you cannot attach to the back of your monitor. No Thunderbolt support, meaning no eGPUs can be connected. No support for Intel XTU, limited upgradeability and repairability, and the rather big scale of the housing. But given the fact that Chuwi is still one of these brands new to the mini PC world, and the really good internal layout and the decent performance provided, I think that's a mini PC of a very good value, especially if you don't care about upgrading and fine-tuning and overclocking. Out of the box, fantastic performance, quite decent 2023 setup with certain drawbacks as we managed to highlight throughout this episode. So that's everything about the Corebox 4. And in case you have some questions, or you might want to share your opinion about its performance and what you think so far about this body, comments are down below the video. As usual, more information about the product, a discount code if applicable, you're gonna find somewhere in the video description area. And that's everything about today's episode. Hopefully, it has covered everything you wanted to find out about this particular mini PC, and you learned something new about the world of mini PCs. If that's the case and if mission accomplished, please give us a like, sub to the channel for more cool tech inspections, and I'm Michael, gonna see you in the next video. Bye!